guys, welcome to this special vlog. I had the pleasure of being invited down to Nottingham for a Riso workshop at Dizzy Ink, where we spent the day in the studio learning about risograph printing and at the end actually making our own very special Riso print. It was such a cool experience. So of course we started up with some warm-ups, and it was a very fun little warm-up task for all of us. And as you can see, there was a bunch of the other artists that were involved as well. So what is risograph? Risograph printing is a technique best described as digital screen printing. The process is similar to screen printing, which I have had experience with before because I use that technique for my t-shirts and stuff. And you build up your artwork in a series of layers. As you can see here, you can see like different swatches of how you can like mix and match different colors to get like a bunch of different tones and shades. It's really, really cool. And it's all printed on a banana paper fiber. So the drum that you see in front of you, that basically has the ink inside, and on the banana paper fiber is the emulsion. The stencil that your artwork gets burnt onto is onto that basically, and it all happens in the machine. It's all like it's a cold process. They don't actually heat up the machine, which is really cool. And tiny holes are burnt into the master sheet, wrapped around this drum, and as it spins, it takes the paper and pressure rolls it as it's spinning like a squeegee kind of thing, and presses the image from the drum onto the paper. Really, really cool. And as you can see here, we're looking at a bunch of different color swatches, seeing how you can mix and match different colors to create a bunch of other different tones, because each drum has one specific color, one specific ink, and as I said, you kind of build them up in layers. It's such a cool look and aesthetic, and also a really cool printing process. It's all rice bran based, so it's really good for the environment, and it's actually a waste product, so it's really, really good for the environment. No heat, no toner, and it's a wet ink process. And because you don't use CMYK, you get a bunch of really, really vibrant colours, as you can see with this really tasty pink tone that you see popping up everywhere, which I am obsessed with. So yeah, we just looked at a bunch of different examples of what you could do here. Really, really pretty outcomes, really. Really, really cool.
That's Jenny.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous.
It's someone I share the studio with.
I love the rabbit.
That's
Amazing. Because like with the traditional stuff, it really picks up the texture, which is cool.
They change their characteristics depending on what surface they're printed onto. So by overprinting two inks together, you can generate a new color.
That is the Liz colour palette.
Oh,
it's also really pretty.
Green. Love a fluoro green.
I may or may not
Craig
do
makes
this instead.
Now you've seen it.
I've seen it.
Craig
The pink
makes
and the
that
yellow.
purple himself.
Oh,
This one sounds gorgeous.
that's beautiful.
That's pink and yellow printed on top of each other. So you get like really vivid, great colours.
They're gorgeous.
Which is the one thing that we want the most, because we use bright colours and fucking hate CMYK.
so torn.
So,
Exactly.
I always said it was Riso. It's supposed to be Riso. Because it's, this is B. This is another person
So
who shares
pretty.
the studio.
Oh my god, it's just a boy. Look at him. Oh my god, he's so cute.
That's the 3 colours, so he's got the black on there as well.
Oh, great.
You can just play.
That's very pretty.
So the inks do change depending on what they get printed onto. So.
So now it is time for me to actually sit down and actually design my own print that I will make as a Riso print at the end of this day. And it was a really cool and very brain melting kind of process at the same time, because it's a very different way of like working. It's a very different drawing process to what I'm used to. So normally, of course, I just work in like flat colors and kind of shade and highlight from there. But because the way that this needs to be printed is kind of in grayscale for each color on the drum, you have to think very differently about your process. So as you can see on the time lapse, I'm kind of flicking back and forth between grayscale and color. And of course, the two colors I picked were the really bright, like fluorescent pink and the blue. And mixing those two colors together also gave me shades of purple, which was really cool. But yeah, it was a very big learning curve trying to work this way, and the lovely Pura P was giving me lots of tips on how to set up my files as well, so thank you, Pura. Yeah, as you can see, just trying to get some contrast going, and these were Nichi's prints that turned out so cool. It's such a cool kind of retro look. And here's actually what the files look like as they're about to be printed. So, yeah, watch the rest of the process. It's really cool. I love the textures you can get on it as well. It's very, like, lots of dots. So cool. It's so pretty. You know how I love texture.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
So this is what the files look like when they're mashed together. Really cool. And this is what the inside of the printers look like. Really cool drums. And obviously every time you switch the ink color, you have to switch the drum out. And Craig, the owner of Dizzy Ink, who was setting up the files for this, was kind enough to actually switch the colors around to see what it would look like with like the opposite kind of print, which was really cool. And here he is just calibrating it so the two prints actually match up. And here's the outcome. It's so cool. Like, it's so surreal seeing your art printed in the colors that you actually like draw it in. As a person, you know, as an artist who uses very bright colors in their artwork all the time, I cannot tell you how good of a feeling it felt seeing this printed out so bright and so like full of vibrancy. I am already obsessed with this printing process, and I definitely want to try more. And yeah, this was them getting trimmed up while we were waiting for the other artists to get theirs printed, and it was just such an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for this workshop. Big massive thank you to Dizzy Ink and Craig for having us. Thank you for showing us around and letting us try this amazing printing process out. And guys, if you want to know more, I've got lots of links down below as well, and where you can find Dizzy Ink in Nottingham if you do want to go for a workshop yourself. And this is Liz's being printed out, aka Zombie Octopus, with the fluoro green and the purple. Oh my goodness, it is so tasty. And of course, Sapphire Bees turned out amazing and so pretty. I have such talented friends. Please go check them out, guys. Like, look at this. Oh, it's so scrumdiddlyumptious. I just want to say another massive thank you to Dizzy Ink and Craig for having us for the day. It was such a wonderful experience. Thank you so much for teaching us about Riso. And of course, if you want to see me do other workshops or trying out different art supplies, etc., let me know down below. And of course, don't forget to practice that self-care. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye.